What's up, y'all? So today we're going to propagate into the realm. Propagate into the realm. We're going to propagate into the realm today. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, one of the things that I tend to stray away from is sounding too scary. Actually doing the job that is before me, because the job that is before me is more of a cleanup job and it requires a lot. And a lot of things that one can see as, negative actions, but it has to be done. So, let's talk. Let's talk turkey, shall we? Well, we will talk about the end of days, the end times. What does it mean?
Hi, Daddy.
Hello. I'm sorry. Who is this?
This is Yoko Delgado. Do you want to speak to my daddy?
Please.
Who should I say is calling?
Tell him it's his father.
You're my grandpa?
Yes, sweetheart, I am.
Daddy, Grandpa's on the phone.
Mr. President, sir.
Why don't you two get comfy on that couch? Sally, come help them out, okay? You're doing a great job, son.
Capital's been hit by 9.4.
We lost communication with the White House, sir.
Where's it centered?
North Chesapeake Bay.
Ce sont les deux principaux sur lesquels nous voulons nous concentrer pour l'instant. Une fois que le programme sera un peu plus avancé, nous passerons au secteur suivant. Comme vous pouvez supérieur droit, nous avons inscrit.
Well, it's not just fire and brimstones, as everyone wants to put it, but a lot of it does require destruction in order for rebirth, renewal, reacceptance. Now, what does that look like? The old system is in place. They are distracting people with illusory things to keep your minds off of the negative, things outside of their control.
Mr. President, I was made aware of a situation so devastating that at first I refused to believe it. Through the concerted efforts of our brightest scientists, we have confirmed its validity. The world, as we know it, will soon come to an end.
But, that's just them following their roles, playing their parts in this matrix that was given to them. So, what does it look like? We talk about the solar flares. The sun is continuing to flare. Most of our protective shielding has eroded away. Our magnetosphere is not as strong as it once was.
Earth's shield is weakening. In the past 3,000 years, our planet's magnetic field has lost about 30% of its strength, and it's still dropping. This magnetic field creates two giant donut-shaped zones called the Van Allen belts, which trap harmful radiation from space. Think of them as Earth's very own particle accelerator, catching cosmic rays and solar particles before they can reach us. But this shield isn't as stable as we once thought. In fact, right now, something strange is happening to our magnetic defenses, and it's happening faster than anyone expected.
And honestly, you don't even know what's protecting you from the four winds.
The book of Revelation, chapter 7, part 1. Listen, and you will be blessed. After these things, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, on the sea, and on any tree. Then I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was granted to harm the earth and the sea, saying, Do not harm the earth, the sea, or the trees, till we have sealed the servants of God on their foreheads. And I heard the number of those who were sealed. 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel were sealed.
But you're being protected. There have been solar flares that have been strong enough to destroy what we have. But it almost feels like, oh, what happened to it? It was pointed in our direction, but nothing happened. The geomagnetic storms, what's going on? They're not there. You're being protected. The massive earthquakes, they're going to happen. The warning signs for that are there. Fractures are taking place. Rogue waves are taking place. Animals are moving in manners that really are peculiar.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's an oarfish. They've almost never been seen live.
They live a mile deep.
Come up here and die.
Oh.
No, this is amazing.
Yeah, that is
This is
amazing.
the smallest one I've ever seen.
Got hurt or something. Yeah, that thing is cool.
Nobody's gonna believe this.
The governmental structures that we have. You can even tell with that. Most of them don't even care. The ones who are at the top, so to speak, don't even care. They've stopped caring. They're just letting things play out. They're letting things go. They're manipulating you by distractions in order to keep you from knowing, in order to keep you from being all over them. What's going on? Why can't you stop this? No! We don't have to listen to you! So, schools are still open. The garbage still runs. The police are still policing. It's all a distraction. But they're at the lower ends of the spectrum, so they won't know when it happens. They're waiting for it to actually happen so that they can say, you know what? We have our caves. We have our ships. We have our escape plan. We'll be fine. But they won't. It affects us all. There is no escape for you. Where are you going to go? You're going to go up there where there are multiple ships just there waiting for everything to take place so that they can assist. But they can wait there for a while. They don't even have to introduce themselves to you, because what would be the point of that? Most of your citizens are not that bright. And I hate to say that out loud because we're all one and the same, but come on now, y'all are not. Let's just keep it real. You probably got 1 to 2, and 2 is stretching it, % of the population who actually are in the know, who understand, overstand where they are. And it's just like, everybody else, what happened on TV? Let's see what the news is saying. I can't believe this is going on. What's for dinner, honey? But it takes a massive catastrophic event to take place for them to actually wake up to what's going on. Little piecemeal actions, some may say rituals, but piecemeal actions may take place that, oh, this is crazy town. But they really don't actually wake up from where they find themselves at that moment. They still peddle the illusion because it's simple. It's easy. It's what we know. It's our comfort space. But I have to inform you that your comfort spaces are coming to an end. There is nowhere for any of us to hide. There are places where we can be when certain events take place in certain areas that will be okay. But the mass majority are in strike zones, fault line areas, areas that will be riddled with water, earthquakes, solar flaring, taking out grids of which people will go crazy because without certain technological devices that they become so used to, they won't know what to do with themselves but be crazy.
The television said they started the looting already, huh? Vultures.
So now we're here. And when I say we're here, that brings me to the crux of things. Why are we here? Before one could speak like this, because you get those people out there, we've been saying this for years. Yeah, you have been, but you've been saying it in a specific worded format of which wouldn't bring about anything. Now that others have come to the forefront and are speaking words aloud and pushing things to move, you're like, oh, but we've been saying this. No, not in that manner. Because if you had, we would be miles ahead of where we are right now. Now it falls upon those who are administrators, system administrators, to actually do the job. And I'm not saying that you're not system administrators because, again, we're all one and the same. But this level of information only became accessible to certain people at certain times because of certain things that have been taking place. So now we're here. Who are you? If you want to go back to one of the earlier forms, I'm an Anunnakia, Anlil, but you know, some people can say that's cap, but I really don't care what you say. Because as far as I know, I'm the only one who's been talking to you about Saturn and the hexagon that falls within it. Or on top of it, rather. You call it a cube, or it's the black sun, or it's the center of everything, but do you even know what any of those terms, phrases, depictions actually mean? Do you? Because I really don't think most of you do. But I don't want to get too dark into this because I could. But where would that get us? You know? Just too much darkness. You feel some type of way. You get all scared and shaky, and then it's just like, blah, 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 oh God, blah, blah, blah. So it's a gradual thing. But with that being said, because this video can be seen as all over the place at a certain point, I just kind of came on here, and as I've told people before, I just speak from the dome. The videos that get put in here come after the fact. None of this is planned, because what's the point of planning? I don't intend to make this a day job. I'm just pushing the narrative. That is one of my roles, so I will do that task. Okay? Okay, boys and girls, okay. Why you have to bring levity to this situation? Because, sometimes you have to bring a little bit of levity to this, because it can be quite dark, quite heavy, quite dense.
Whoa, this is heavy. There's that word again, heavy. Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull? What?
So yeah. We're being led by supercilious fools who are playing a part, and their parts are minuscule but important to a fault. So you have to go with it. Now, the reason I'm bringing this topic up, the end of days, the end time, because we have to, and I don't mean we actually have to because you do what you want, because this is your experience, this is your journey, but I'm just saying it would behoove you to prepare yourselves for what is to come. Enjoy what you have while you can. Partake in whatever it is you want to partake in while you can. Don't go crazy with it. Don't YOLO everything, because you don't only live once. So if you make a karmic mistake, you might relive this life again. Which, once we come full circle, you will relive this actual life again. But until then, you may relive another life, of which you have to go through the same hardship, if not a deeper one, as a result of your karma in this life. So, be mindful. Now, with that out the way, I talk about earthquakes. That's going to be a little bit of a hardship for certain areas, certain individuals, certain groups. But you have to understand and understand that once it begins, it's going to be okay. You might find yourself in peril, but don't overthink. Don't be fearful. It's going to be okay. I promise you this. And I don't make promises very often. but I feel I have to convey that. And the only reason I feel that way is because living these lives, all of them that I've actually been a part of, you kind of get a deeper understanding of these forms, these vessels, what humanity means. At the very beginning, not so much. Didn't really care. Caleb, start over. But after watching, being a part of it, you get a deeper understanding of what it is to be a human. These vessels were made or intended for a specific reason.
Sir, Colonel MiKa'El has his new batch unpacked. I think he wants to show him off.
Well, they're pretty.
What do you find so hard about it?
They're very much improved, Captain.
Improved. How?
In every way possible. You see, your old ones here, they're selected at birth. And my new ones are practically manufactured using DNA profiles. And some manipulation.
My daddy was in maintenance. And he had a saying. He used to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm afraid I don't get your point.
The veterans you see standing before you here have been through all kinds of heavy shit. These hot shots. How much action have they seen? And are they battle tested?
How about a few tests just to get you on board? Make you a believer.
And they've transcended that. They've done more than what we created them for. And that's an amazing accomplishment. Can you thank Enki for that? Well, a little bit. I mean, he had a part to play in creating these forms, so yeah. Did he want to save you? Not in the context that you believe that he wanted to save you in. He's the savior of humanity. He believed in the civilization. He believed in his creation. He created. Nobody wants to see their creations destroyed, okay? He had a whole experiment thought up that he wanted to go through, a whole process that he wanted to go through, and he did it. You act as if that entity is a saint, which saints and demons and all that, semantics, good and evil semantics, we just are. But if you want to see it as a black and white thing, you think of him as overall good, opposed to Enlil, the lawgiver.
You could never control yourself. What makes you think you can control these things?
You're in control. You be head of the council. You choose.
I should have put you down myself. Personally.
You know, I never understood that. Why did you judge me?
You started a massacre!
I caused the revolution!
You betrayed the law!
Law! I betrayed this! Your council's experiment, which failed!
You have to have laws, right? Things have to make sense. Because if they don't make sense, what's the point? Oh my God. We'll be all over the place. But let me rein it back. Let me take it back a little bit, because I don't want to get too crazy on you. And when I say crazy, I don't want you to get too, oh God, I don't understand. I can't follow this. Oh God. Oh my head. I got a headache. I'm tired. So let me simmer down. These are the days that have been prophesied. And a lot of folks don't see that, because there have been people who said, oh, these are the end of days and nothing ever happens. But all of the prophecies, of which they overlook a lot that's in these prophecies, are coming to fruition actually at this moment, pertaining to the skies, pertaining to the sea, pertaining to the land, pertaining to actual people. And that gets overlooked. Back in those time periods when they were like, oh, it's the end of days, certain events were taking place, but it wasn't checking all of the check marks. It was only checking certain check marks, and then they would try to, edit those versions out, and yeah, it's the end of days. But no.
Imagine waiting for the end of the world, only to be left in shock. In 1844, followers of William Miller believed Christ would return on October 22nd. For years, Miller's calculations captivated thousands, leading them to abandon their homes and lives in fervent anticipation. When the date came and went without the promised event, a deep sense of disillusionment swept through these communities. Many felt betrayed, leading to a crisis of faith that shattered lives. This event, known as the Great Disappointment, ultimately spawned new religious movements, including the Seventh-day Adventists. It serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers of prophetic certainty and the complexities of faith.
We're checking off all of the boxes right now. We're almost at the end of checking off boxes. We're just missing a few, but we're almost there. So, you have to gear your mind up to be strong. Gear your heart up to be strong. Your vessel to be strong. Your thoughts to be strong. Which, thoughts in mind, but semantics. You can't be scared of where we are headed, because this was written about. It has to take place. A golden age will occur, of which this civilization will be very prosperous. And I'm not talking about in a monetary way, because that is going out the window. That will become a thing of the past. These monetary hawks who believe in the greenbacks, who believe in the digital currencies, they believe in it because they aren't at the level of which they need to be fearful of what's taking place. They are middle management or lower tiers, and even those who are trying to scratch the surface of being at the top, they have to be a part of specific bloodlines, and not a lot of people can say they are. You have to do certain rituals that not a lot of people will feel comfortable with doing if you're in this pyramid. So you can pretend and do the what's the old phrase? Fake it till you make it. You can do all that. But if you don't actually realize what this pyramid is comprised of, and you're just trying to get into the pyramid, or you're in the pyramid but trying to get to the top of it, you have no idea what it takes to get to the top. And you do? How can you be at the top? Because I had no choice. And I'm speaking as the vessel, not as the entity. So let me differentiate for just a brief moment. I was approached, asked a specific question about whether or not I would be willing to sacrifice myself as this vessel for this civilization. And the way I felt at that time, I said yes, I would, for this entire civilization. And that's all that entity needed to be like you. Oh, hell, not too many people would do that. And you know what? I choose you. But I've always chosen myself. And as I continue to recall, because I can't say it's the entity, because I am that entity. As I continue to recall this, and I have to come to you and convey to you that if you want to know what we are, and I'm only speaking for us few who actually are at this point, we are Q. Snap of the finger. a raise of the eyebrow, and things will happen. We don't believe you. Do it. Do it. One thing about me is I'm not from the show me state. I've already done the show me state for myself, and I know exactly what I can do, how much I can do, and I don't have to show you a damn thing. Your cap. Okay. I'm going to go with that. I'll take it. Act as if I care. I don't. You can't say this kind of thing and not be fearful of reprisal. Trust me when I say this. Being at the top of the pyramid, these folks know exactly who and what we are. They're very fearful of that. They know the retaliatory actions that will be taken against them if harm came to specific vessels. And no one's going to try that because it's already been tried. And examples have been made. So, with that being said, I'm not fearful of them or what they could do as men, as three-dimensional constructs. I'm not fearful of any of that. Look at me in my eyes, right here. I'm the captain now.
Look at me. Sure. Look at me. Sure. I'm the captain now.
Am I really fearful of you? We'll teach you, buddy. You want to run that past me one more time? No. We were talking about the wall behind you. We'll teach you, buddy. We'll teach you. You. That wall, I don't like it. It doesn't make it look good in that lighting. Next question. It's okay. Understood. Water under the bridge. No worries. So, what do we need to discuss to actually prove this to you, which hasn't been discussed already? I'm no longer going to talk about Saturn's hexagon because what is the point of that? You want to know how it's created? You want to know what the interior makeup of it is? I could tell you that. You want to know how this holographic matrices started? I could tell you that. You have all these people out there who have these out-of-body experiences, but they never tell you the one thing that stands true across all dimensions, realms, or what have you. We all came from one mother, who is technically not a male or a female. That is a construct created by man. Feminine energy, masculine energy, it's only one energy. There is only one. But as light refracts, as light bends, as light travels, here we are. In the flesh, so to speak.
In 3, 2, 1. All right.
With that being said, This video is getting a little bit longer than I would like, and I don't want to get too dark and too convoluted so that you can't follow and be scared or fearful and be like, oh, he's crazy, which, again, any of that stuff that is said about me, I could care less, because as smart as I am, and egotistically speaking, I'm very, very smart. I got a brain. Meh. I could run circles around most of you. Also, most of them, not all. Well, I mean, certain individuals out there, we're at the same exact level. So running circles around them, they would just throw my life back at me, and then I would have to throw their life back at them, and then nothing would ever get done. Nothing. We'll just go back and forth. Just like Enlil, or Enlil as you call him, and Enki, or Enki as you call him. This back and forth, never ending. And it's not a jealousy thing. I mean, some people can see it as that, but it's not really a jealousy thing per se. It's just, well, but why did he get overlooked? Certain skill sets are needed in certain places. And certain entities, individuals, forms have a certain amount of that skill set and are not privy to other skill sets. So when you have another entity or form out there that has those skill sets and more, they tend to get to a specific level. So it's more of a role thing. It's kind of going back to roles. Specific levels, specific roles are meant for specific entities. They're meant to do certain things. And as for Enlil, he is a rendering of mother. And as for the sister, which is not Enki or Enki, she is a rendering of father. Enki is more of the son. And so with that being said, you have father who is daughter, you have mother who is son, and then you have Enki who is the amalgamation of both of those as a result of conception. But that's kind of convoluted because it's not really conception, because he wasn't given birth in that manner. But crystalline forms, okay, it's really different when you have to talk about being a crystalline structure and talking about conception, because it's different. It's not like humans, so you have to try to break it down for humans that understand, but it's not that, okay? So it's just easier to explain it in that manner. You just go with it, okay? Okay? No more talking about the crazy. No more talking about the other realms. No more talking about any of that, okay? We're done. So, with that out the way and being said, just smile on and positive vibes your way. For the light workers, keep doing your thing. For the chosen, stay on mission. And for those who know, let's get it.